Have you ever thought the Doctor from Doctor Who actually exists in the Star Trek universe? Let's talk about that. Hello and welcome back with another video of TREKKERPRISE. Well, as I said and I hinted before, I have a theory how actually Doctor Who can exist in the Star Trek universe. If you're not familiar with Doctor Who, this is a British series starting from 1963 and it's actually going on till these days, so about 53 years of history. Although the two series came out 3 years apart from each other, ever since they had cross-references from different shows. And even of the modern active Doctor Who, they had actually references from Star Trek towards Star Trek, and Star Trek actually had some references towards Doctor Who. The biggest reference in Star Trek, and why I think the Doctor actually can exist in the Star Trek universe, is basically comes from an episode, Star Trek Enterprise, a season 2 episode, Future Tense. Now in Future Tense, the Enterprise come across with a sort of a shuttle, sort of an escape pod, a time capsule, that they actually find out it's a time capsule, which actually contains a body of a dead species. From the initial scans actually turns out that's a human, but as Dr. Phlox actually goes into examining this body, he actually finds out there's a bunch of other creatures, a bunch of other races actually that merge into this one body. But obviously that doesn't really explain how Doctor Who actually can exist in the Star Trek universe. But the time capsule itself, an interesting thing is, when they open this time capsule, they actually find this hatch in the cockpit, and they said the exact same catchphrase that they used to say in Doctor Who, which is,
"How can a ship be bigger on the inside than the outside?"
Exactly, and this is the catchphrase that we hear in Doctor Who a lot of times. Obviously when they said that, I thought instantly of the Tardis, because every time when someone stepped into the Tardis, they said,
"It's bigger on the inside."
Is it? I hadn't noticed.
Obviously when they discovered this hatch and they went down to this ship and they found out, okay, there's a whole dimension, there's more rooms into this small capsule. And that really gives an idea of the 31st century and those people who actually developed this technology. If in the 31st century they figured out the way how they actually can go back and forth in time and how they actually can develop this technology to, you know, have this multiple dimensions in one small space, then I have a feeling because of the time travel aspect, they actually could have gone further in the future and they could actually see different sort of development of this technology. Well, as we all know, the TARDIS itself made by Gallifreyans and Gallifreyan Time Lord technology. Obviously the TARDIS is bigger on the inside, and that ship that we seen in Enterprise, that was bigger on the inside too. So theoretically, if we see this person who died in this capsule from the 31st century, we can think about the fact as, you know, lots of people, lots of races actually merged over the years, so they might ended up with different sort of biosystem, and the Doctor, as we all know, his big feature to regenerate, plus he has 2 hearts. And who knows if in the 31st century we might gonna end up as a superior beings or more biologically developed beings because of the too many DNA mixing up in our body and in our society. So in theory, the Doctor can exist in the 31st century, and to prove that, there's one episode in Doctor Who, season 6, the closing time, when actually the Doctor mentioned,
"Beam me up, Star Trek teleport."
So that's an interesting nod to the series as well, because obviously, as I said before, Star Trek references Doctor Who quite a few times, and Doctor Who referenced Star Trek a few times as well. This was one of the nods that actually came out from this episode, and I'm just theorizing here, but the Doctor actually might see in the future that humanity will have, or at least one reality of the future, because obviously the Doctor can actually travel through time and space, but also in dimensions. He would actually knew about Star Trek, and he would know what the Star Trek teleport thing is. Obviously from the writer's side it's just really a cross-reference, but it's really interesting to think that time capsule from the 31st century with the different dimensions inside actually really resembles the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Obviously we're talking about the Type 40 TARDIS that actually we've seen in Doctor Who many times. So because of this, I think the Doctor really exists. Maybe it's not as the Doctor, but it really exists in the Star Trek universe. Maybe not in the 22nd, the 24th, but maybe in the 31st or beyond centuries. Please let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this theory. What do you think the Doctor actually really exists in a different form in the Star Trek universe? Or if you have a different idea or different opinion on this topic, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, please don't forget to like and share the video, don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness every week. And until next time, live long and prosper.